The secrets of the small shafts of the Great Pyramid. 6 underbar more items in the shafts. Part 1. In addition to the above-mentioned items found by Dixon, there are other items in the North Shaft that only came to light during investigations with pyramid robots. These include a metal rod, another rod and a small piece of wood with 2 holes, as well as a modern-day ticket for access to the pyramid and the Sphinx and a blank white sheet of paper. During Gantenbrink's first shaft exploration in March 1992, his premier robot, the father of Upyout 1, took a picture in the North Shaft of the Queen's Chamber at the beginning of Block No. 7 at just under 12 meters, 65 from the shaft entrance, which was a modern metal rod with a screw thread shows. Based on later exploration, Gantenbrink informs us that each segment of the metal rods he found was 2.70 meters 66 long. If one assumes 2 rods of 2.70 meters starting at 11.85 meters, the last segment ends at 17.25 meters, or approximately 1 meter before the 45 degrees shaft bend to the left. The image opposite shows a coupling piece used by Morton Edgar. He then screwed the individual metal segments together. This allowed him to extend the exploration pole almost as desired. The small light spot at the top of the figure represents the laser spot of Upyout 2 that was used for distance measurement. We know from Morton Edgar, the user of the metal rods, that he used rods of different lengths with a maximum size of 16 feet equals 4.88 meters, which he connected with a screw thread. However, the poles observed by Gantenbrink were only 2.70 meters long. From this we can deduce that the lowest bar remaining in the shaft was not composed of the 16-foot-long segments. A small rectangular object with 2 holes was also found in the North Shaft. On its website, Gantenbrink lists the location as in the second third of block number 9 inches, the last block before the shaft bend. The object is therefore in the range of 16.70 meters to 17.42 meters from the shaft opening in the Queen's Chamber. According to Gantenbrink, the distance between the 2 holes is approx. 1 centimeter and would therefore fit the hook, whose rivet spacing is approx. 1.25 centimeter. However, it is questionable whether the hook was actually found in the North Shaft. The distances between the object with holes, the connecting piece of the metal rod and the beginning of the second metal rod can be derived from the footage 68 due to the smooth forward movement at constant speed of Upyout 2. In the film Robot Journey into the Past created by Rudolf Gantenbrink, a connecting piece of 2 metal rods can be clearly seen at the bottom of the picture. The connecting piece is located about a meter in front of the 45 degrees bend and it's almost halfway between the small object with 2 holes and the lower end of the second pole. The laser dot of Upyout 2 can be seen at the bottom of the connector. However, the connecting piece can only be guessed at due to the low image resolution. According to Morton Edgar, poles in the North Shaft broke twice. The second, slightly thinner rod can be seen further up the shaft. Unfortunately, from the Pyramid rover exploration of the North Shaft by National Geographic in 2002, there is only Sahihawa's report from 2005, which contains a few results about the North Shaft, and also his report from 2014, which contains more information about it. No video footage from the Pyramid rover mission has been published showing the area above the first 45 degrees bend at 18.14 meters in the Great Gallery bypass area, with the exception of the last few meters before the northern blocking stone, for which video footage exists from a Russian documentary. The broken metal rod remained at the bend in the shaft. At first glance, this pole looks like a piece of squared wood that has broken off at the end. However, the images from the Pyramid rover mission show that this is also a very long rod that was used to explore the shaft, probably a slightly thinner metal rod. The change in direction in the shaft after a good 18 meters from the end of the Queen's Chamber had become structurally necessary in order to bypass the Great Gallery. According to an article by Hawass 78, there are still kinks in the North Shaft at 23.16 meters, and 25.60 meters respectively to the right and after 29.26 meters back to the left. These dimensions are also mentioned in the final report of the Pyramid rover mission from December 20, 2002 for Phase 2. The sections between the bends from 18.14 meters are therefore 5.02 meters, 2.44 meters and 3.66 meters long. In a publication published in 2014, the information from Phase I and Phase 2 can be found, but they are not identical. In Phase 2 the values could be determined more precisely than in Phase I. In Phase I the following was determined. During our exploration of the northern shaft QCN, the robot ascended approximately 19 meters 60 feet, and turned through the sharp left-west bend. Next followed two shallow right turns to the east at 22 meters 75 feet, and 25 meters 83 feet. This may reorient the shaft to its original direction to the north. About 20 meters 67.5 feet, after the first bend is a pile of rubble. At 27 meters 90 feet, the robot stopped and was unable to go any further, but was able to capture video of the next 5 meters 10-15 feet. The shaft continues with a slight turn to the left. The robot was forced to stop as a result of becoming grounded on the metal rods. The pile of rubble he mentions may be the obstacle. If you take the foot information for the obstacle, this results in 20.57 meters after the first 45 degrees bend, or 22.53 meters after the start of the shaft. Since the first 45 degrees bend is at 18.14 meters from the start of the shaft, the pile of rubble would be 4.39 meters behind it. Just one page further on, Hawass then writes in the article quoted above. In the Northern Air Shaft QCN, the Pyramid rover performed 3 runs in an attempt to gather new information. The expedition reconfirmed that the shaft is oriented north as it heads away from the second chamber. To summarize its findings, at 23 meters, 76 feet, the shaft bends to the right at an angle of approximately 20 degrees Fig. 9. At 25 meters 84 feet, there is another turn to the right at approximately the same angle. At 29 meters 96 feet, the shaft bends slightly to the left. At 63 meters 209 feet, in the northern shaft QCN, we discovered a third blocking stone. This closely resembles the first blocking stone in the southern air shaft QCS. As on the first stone, there were 2 metal pins protruding from the stone, which are covered with a green patina. The left pin is recessed in a grooved cut in the door and thus sits flush with the surface of the stone. The second pin is bent down on the surface of the stone itself. The stone appears to be supported by the wall blocks as in the southern shaft. The thickness of this block is not known.